Hey, our next poet is Paul Siegell. He is the author of 3 books of poetry, Jambandbootleg, published by Ahead Publishing, and Wildlife Rifle Fire and Poemergency Room, which are both published by Otoliths. Paul was born on Long Island. He was educated in Pittsburgh, employed in Orlando, Atlanta, and now Philadelphia. He's a copywriter by day, a senior editor at Painted Right Quarterly by choice, and his work can be found, his work and his concrete poetry t-shirts can be found at ReVeLeR at eYeLeVeL. Paul Siegell.
Thanks everybody. Laura, wonderful. Right?
Yep.
One more time for Laura. Thank you, David. Thank you, Penn Center, and lots of love. And, we're standing here right now. It's not me, which is weird. But soon, right?
Soon, very soon.
We've come for your target audience. That these aren't even the things I care about the most. It's 1 a.m. and I am deleting the death of a poet. Sky Burial 5. What else would I be doing if I just didn't show up for work? I can see the constellation taking aim. St. Sebastian scavenger hunt. On a walk around the monument today, caged in scaffolding, all its points of departure. Eve balancing an apple upon her head, while William Tell quarrels Cupid. It is a study in Rayonism. It's a study in the sound a cash register makes when opening. And the astronaut in the airport piano bar sings. Everything everybody ever had, even our own everybody. Amazon sales rank, 3,173,937 in endangered rainforest bookstores. Like a B flat with a bow and arrow, that's how I behave during blastoff. Tucked inside my celestial treasure chest, first century field maps, 11 embracing lovers, and the lying down ladder of Roman numeral 3. Every bizarre artifact, every hot midnight trombone, awake to work, awake to dream. Comes a time for innovation and a time for revenge. Occasion to skateboard City Hall, grind to fiasco fantastico. Grounds for newborn earthworms galore, and even a time to realign the Milky Way. Exclusive, Lady Gaga and Yo-Yo Ma caught making out in LaGuardia Airport. See the shocking new photos and find out how long they've been keeping their secret. Ignition, from the obvious to the oblivious. Every fossilized invertebrate, every gargoyle in the grocery store. I keep you, it, everything, safe with my celebrations, secured by the belt of Orion. Okay, it's called THISAREA County Fair. I need a drink. Didn't spill. Kind of did. Straw 6. The smell of hay. What am I doing? If this is to squirt gun the candle and snag a surprise. Moo cows on the prowl. Unhinge this, tilt-a-whirling this. Get handed a plush stuffed cuddly this. Flickers in the county fair. Cons promenading this, scrambler of happenings. Hisses uncoiling from the cobras this. As sure as this Ferris wheeling this. Of a turkey-legged and overall nature. Uplifting this abysmal shift. About its entertainments, and this upon the strong man's weight. Hammer strikes to tether this to the high-up bungee jump, to stick to this like caramel, to popcorn, to teeth. Concession stands of this, colors oozing this, parading this the mighty midway's distance, spotlighting this like squads of oddities. On the bearded this headed babies, pot-bellied pig races, this nauseous this, in the midst of raging the roller coasters, hot-dogging the looping starship this, hiccup kids on the carousels, joy boats bumping into this. Wistfulness washed out in the water slides. Eyes out of exile. Acceleration in the swerve of things. All that terrified this flying cheers. See-through bags of sore-throated goldfish. With everyone welcoming. Giant calliopes ripping this from ticket stubs. With this to look forward to. Hitting up the house of mirrors. With the spectacle of this. Okay, this is one of my newer ones. Probably going to sound like all the other ones. But it's called On the Writing of the Written Object, and it's for Annabelle. Sphinx and alien. A lion. Glyphs as links, y'all. Yonder. spell conjure, how we're all in for a spell, a letter, a line pointing to thoughts, slide to unlock. That cloud could. Wolf howl, wolf owl, on a wolf owl prowl of old, flow through the depths of forgotten wolf self, as the owl flies low along a line of shapes, symbols of the could, shifting. But how? And how to pierce the shadow of the owl when bereft a shadow-piercing arrow? Like I need another tchotchke not sold in stores. And why, yes, that's posterity, and oh, that lone wolf cloud could. But the idea that a thought, that cloud actually could, that it could all somehow align with thoughts on sight and shape, as I am drawn to images, visually you, your ancient insatiable eyes, visually aligned to you. Okay, so I have this book. Some of you have seen it before. It's Wildlife Rifle Fire. It's a book-length visual poem. So each thing is kind of its own visual thing. There you go, get the idea on that one, right? So I thought since we all made it through Valentine's Day unscathed, I figured I'd do some of the love poems in here. You didn't think there were love poems in here, did you? So this is when you're at the bar and you're like, well, she's cute. I'm going to get her number, right? This is when you're done. Like, you're asking the parents for permission, you know, like, my blessing, like, it's over, call the florist, like, what's happening? This is when you're being weird. You've been married for a while, so you haven't had sex for a while or whatever, and you're a perv and you're looking at this is when Ernie, what am I doing?
Keep going.
Okay, you've been listening to like too much Doors and like Oedipus is doing its thing. It's fortune lines.
Mom come.
Ew. And this is when you meet someone else, someone new, because you just got divorced because you're listening to porn and watching stuff. And
I listen to it.
And you want to give them a gift, you know. This is for Christy. It's my Grand Canyon poem. Kaibab lime. Oh, it's called Big Time. Kaibab limestone, rim, cream of bathtub ring, sunny grayish white, where, wow, abounds. All of this once submerged, coral fish teeth worms, all the tarawiyah, many tears we've yet to shed, shadows, yellows, for the time it took, up, ravens, if they know where they are. No matter what you Coconino sandstone expect, these historic horizontals, it's more. Unearthly walls, Duchamp's new descending number 2. Petrified pure quartz, deep artistic hermit shale scar. Yuck fly suck mule dung all along. Ligaments hoofing on rocks the river never took. Adventure rising. And there are reds to read. Till Supai formation, you've seen it, the challenge. No one can truly describe it. Scrappy little squirrels, miles, mules of the muse. The same source that made red wall limestone this. It never gets old. Made me caves, arches. We're reconnoisseurs, older as you go, dolomites. We're adventurizing. Views that Moab limestone somehow enter you. A thing or two about time. The desire to study geology the moment you get home. Them ravens, pines, the stratum, bright angel shale that poses for pictures. Mudstone, Paleozoic, how many millions? Bootprints, shy about what a million even is. Ripple dips from ocean to Piet sandstone waves. Cambrian, every line at which you aim your eyes. Zoroaster granite, another line shoots you somewhere else. Eroded, a man in Vishnu schist, a great wall hat, at the lookout when we first arrived. Shared, awesome doesn't mean the same thing anymore. All that which the Colorado carved, to breathe it all in, and in its sight, her first time, she cried. Thank you. Jambandbootleg, years ago, came out. Another gift you can give to somebody. So, anyone ever been to Jerusalem? It's the old cities encased in stone, and there are gates. And one of the gates is called the Dung Gate, which is where they took the It's also, now, it's the closest gate and entrance to get to the Wailing Wall. Scene at Dung Gate. With prayers left in crevices, tour-guided Americans lean against stone, lick vanilla, speak of Wailing Wall, and how incredible. Bareback on a beast, a Palestinian boy plods up, shows off for the brand name, whacks his donkey's neck with a stick, quick, made from black irrigation tubing. Whoa, go the Americans. Smirks, goes around the corner. Tzitzit dangling, Yarmulke yeshiva boys carrying planks of wood into the old city for Lag BaOmer bonfires, picnic festive and family full. Little, they use the wall, masonry a few feet high, to slide the planks and rest. Ice cream Americans smile, say shalom, giggle with, and get out of the way. Returned, boy with burden meets boys with firewood, and the Holy Land comes out of camouflage. Each in each other's way, language is used. Grips on the planks of wood change, tighten, raise, as does the irrigation tube. Yeladim detonates down from an apartment window above. Yeladim, Yeladim, a barrel chest yells. Yeladim means children. Okay, Poemergency Room. Years ago, it came out.
How many years?
I don't know. Too many years.
You're not that old.
I'm glad it came out. To answer the new interview. Line list, rusty hooked. Am I a crippled fisherman? Blown, abrupt, a whisper to a pyramid? A flaccid axe, a cuddly snake, a saw with teeth as false as leaves. You know no vampire could compare. Addlepated, just a mess, traveling until I drown. Hold up, hold up, hold up. All this flexed intensity, maneuvering like the chess I played with my checkbook. Is it because I haven't done this, written like this, as if calling on my pocket's remaining change to trade for something actually necessary in a while? Or am I just reacting to a certain theatric event? Spun around, humbled, devastated, yet celebrating it. I collect jobs as well as I quit them. All right, everybody good? You still with me?
Yeah.
Two more. Kaleidoscope for slideshow glow. Undergoing growing up, the kids today are throwing up. They're easygoing, showing how they're not for slowing down. By throwing up their teddy bears of love and fluff and all the sewing stuff of our today, their teddy bears are showing up atop the playground spiral slide and sliding down. The shining coil knowing now of how these brilliant children are all laughing, while they're throwing up their signal flares to teddy bears to tumble down the playground spiral slide and then again. All the while growing up, the kids today are cracking up, their frowns now upside down and on the up and up. Last one. Thanks, everybody. This is fun. Thank you. Ground control to self-control. I'll do Floyd, I'll do Bowie. Out-battled by a bottle rocket for the space inside the subterranean planetarium. Such high ceilings for my self-taught limitations. Ground-breaking. Second-hand sobered, as if afraid. All of my multiple pieces, a galaxy, these, pieced together like a duct-tape barstool launchpad. Arabesque, on the rocks, like extraterrestrial ooze after a crash. When the telescope goes out of focus, T-minus another tip to the tender. To land is as much a triumph as liftoff, but it shouldn't take a NASA scientist to devise a way to bring my plans to put this atmosphere of insecurity on indefinite hold to fruition. A galaxy arabesque, this spiral toward burial. Thanks, everybody.